Few more samples now from the memos to tell you about. Comey wrote that he told the president at a White House dinner last January, quote, "I said I don't do sneaky things. I don't leak. I don't do weasel moves." While discussing the salacious, unverified, dirty dossier, Comey writes this: the president told him, quote, "It was a complete fabrication and fake news, and it bothered him if his wife thought there was even a 1% chance it was true." In March, Comey, quote, reminded him we weren't investigating him. He said it would be great if that could get out. Fox News senior Capitol Hill producer Chad Pergram joins us now. All right, what are they saying tonight on Capitol Hill, Chad? Because they pushed to get these memos over on the House side. Now they have them.
Well, first of all, starting with the Republicans, they would say that with James Comey, in his mind, the real culprit or the real person who's the victim here is James Comey, the fact that he got fired and was basically saying, I want to work for a president who he didn't agree with necessarily. The other thing that's notable here is that they say, and this comes from Devin Nunes, the chair of the Intelligence Committee, Trey Gowdy, the chair of the Oversight Committee, and Bob Goodlatte, the chair of the Judiciary Committee, in kind of this tripart statement where they say that Comey was blind to the biases of the FBI, defended Andrew McCabe. Now, the other side of the story here are the Democrats. Elijah Cummings, Democrat from Maryland, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, he says that there were contemporaneous notes here, meaning that there's some veracity to what Comey was saying. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi immediately said that Comey, or basically the president here, that was exuding contempt for the rule of law. That's a talking point that she has used repeatedly and tried to tie this back to the possibility that he might fire Robert Mueller. I think it's very interesting that the Republicans tried to chide Comey, talking about the level of detail that he gets into, the height of the tables and the way the dining room was arranged. That's kind of a way to say, come on, why don't you get at some real facts in this description, just not, the atmospherics of the room.
When it sounds like both sides are finding things in these memos that they want to use to their advantage.
Right, absolutely. If you're the Republicans, you might say, why did this get out? You have a situation here where Comey is being praised by the president, saying he had an impossible job to do dealing with the Hillary Clinton email situation right before the election, asking him to stay on. And so, the flip side, though, if you're Republicans at the White House, you might say, well, there's no corroboration here with the Russians. There's no evidence that there was any, trying to collude with the Russians in any way, shape, or form. So at the end of the day, you have both sides saying there's something in here that kind of exonerates us.
Well, anything else that jumped out to you? I mean, it was 15 pages, some of it redacted, but there was plenty there for us to sift through.
Yeah, and going through the first part of it that dealt with these allegations of Russian prostitutes that the president allegedly may have been involved with. Now, this is stuff that came from the Steele dossier here. We had been hearing about this for a long time on Capitol Hill, Shannon, that there were allegations about this, and that Comey wasn't saying that it was true. He makes that clear at one point in the memo, but just saying this is something that's out there and we want to talk about this. And the president said, no, there was never any issue with prostitutes in Russia circa 2013. The president indicated to Comey, according to Comey, that he presumed that every room that he slept in, any hotel room, was wired. The other thing here is that that he praised Comey. He said, you really did an exceptional job. I think you've, conducted yourself, beyond reproach. And then, of course, we know what happened with James Comey in May of last year.
Yeah, it started out differently. At least according to these memos, there was some positive relationship at some point.